Hey, welcome back, everybody. Jamar, Carlos here. We back. Unscripted behavior. We back again. Today we're gonna do something a little different. But first of all, let me hear from my boy Carlos. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? It's another day. Good Lord saw fit to see give me another day. So I'm definitely blessed today and just ready to have some fun on these calls, man.
Yeah, man. So what we're gonna do today, different is since we're not gonna have prime time dial later on tonight. We both got prior engagements that we gotta attend. So what we decided to do is come here a little earlier today, and we're gonna send out some SMS campaigns, and jump on the phone with some of the sellers once we send that SMS campaigns out. So if you're a newbie, you haven't sent SMS, or you're trying to figure out how to send SMS and how it transitions into a call, um, we're gonna do that today. So you'll get to see that firsthand. But let me go ahead get my screen going. What else you got going on today, Carlos?
Pretty much making some calls. I'm gonna be on the phone, you know, plugging away for a little bit, and then have some basketball practice I gotta go to. So yeah, it's pretty much it,
Basketball.
man.
Okay.
Um, I, I think definitely too for these newbies who are out here like watching and the channels and stuff, watching how uh you know s- marketing via text messaging and
Mm,
then really trying to get them on the phone as soon as possible. How this is gonna look, right? So I
mm-hmm.
think this definitely a whole bunch of value for you guys out there watching for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what we got today is we got the system we using is launch control. Um, it's a pretty good system. I'm using it for someone else. Someone else gave me access because we're not heavy marketers, so we're doing it for other people. People like the way that we make calls and everything. So they say, hey, once you run our SMS campaigns for them and have conversations, and so we're doing that for them, and we're closing their deals or their leads and everything. So what you'll see is a little bit of that going on today. So what I'm gonna do is bring on the screen here, and I'm trying to figure out what's the best configuration. What y'all think?
You might have to hold on. It looks super tiny.
Looks tiny.
Yeah, I don't know if you could make your screen a little bit bigger or something.
Gets bigger than you can see. You guys don't need to see. I'll tell you what it is. So, uh, less reason for you to take the address then. But yeah, let's get some sent out. So how launch control works is kind of like if you use batch, it's kind of like that. It's to click to send. So I got it set up to send 150 first time around. So I'm gonna send. Go ahead, click and send 150. And yeah, you gotta have a quick finger. You know what? I'm gonna switch the. I like this better.
Yeah, it's a little bit better view. Yeah.
And until we get somebody in, we get it all sent out till we get somebody in, man. On your calls, Carlos. Um, just in general on your calls. I mean, what's like your game plan? Do you have like a structure or like a game plan going into a call? Like even if you get like a SMS or something like all right, today let's do it this way. Today we're doing SMS. What would be like your game plan when you get one in?
For me, my number one game plan, especially like focusing like primarily on SMS. SMS is more of a outbound marketing strategy. I mean, you have people that's gonna, be like tire kickers. You got people that's gonna be that may be serious and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, really, my number one game plan is to like filter through who's who, and try to get that person on the phone. So, if if someone says, "Yeah, make me an offer," or whatever the case may be, I'll still jump on the phone with them but I'm trying to really get them to a decision of like, hey, are you really serious about selling this property right now, or are you just saying it because I sent you a text message, right? What have you actively been doing to like get the property sold and stuff like that?
Right.
Really just filtering through, making sure that person is serious, because we don't want to waste a whole bunch of time talking to people that's like not serious and stuff like that. That right there could lead to a lot of burnout, lead to a lot of like call fatigue and call reluctancy, man. So being able to filter, uh figure out who's the who's or who's serious and stuff like that is definitely my number one objective today on these calls. How about you, man?
Um, yeah. So on an SMS, I typically approach it the same as something else. Another call, really don't look at it any different. The only time I look at the call different is unless I understand completely what's going on before I even make the call. I treat it different. For the SMS, I treat it the same. I jump on the phone, said, "Hey, I got a message from someone, asked me to give you a call. Um, Curious, what this call is about. Curious why I'm calling. He said you got a property there, and what I'm looking for on the call is positioning. I believe some people believe that the person that's asking the most questions is the person that's in control. I witnessed a lot of times where the salesperson or the investor asks a bunch of questions and still get told no. Um, in that
Mhm.
situation, I feel that the seller or the person, the prospect is still in the position, in the controlling position because they able to say no. So
Mhm.
what I do is I try to establish my position, and I want to be the one to say no. I want to be the one in position to say no. So when I go into the call, that's my first thought: is how can I quickly establish position?
And when you say established position, right? Um, are you? Hmm, can you break that down a little bit more? Like, what do you mean by established position?
So establish position. It's two things on it. Either you selling or you being sold on the call.
Mm-hmm.
So as investors, because we're making a call, the seller feels like they're in control at first because they go, you call. You hear things where they go, well, you call me. I'll sell it only if it makes sense. What they're telling me is if it doesn't make sense, if I'm not calling for a good enough reason, they'll tell me no.
Mm-hmm.
So they would, they holding that close. So it's kind of like boxing. It's like you holding your perfect your one hitter quitter. You're holding that difference maker. If you're a counter puncher, you want somebody to try to punch at you so you can counter them. Whatever your skill is, your best skill, you're holding that for the right timing. And what they do, sellers do, is hold or prospects do is they hold those things for the right timing to use on you. So when you ask them about selling 123 Main Street, instead of saying yes and no, they'll say, "What's your price?" They'll say, um, if only if the price is right, everything's for sale. That's their one
Mm-hmm.
hit quitter. That's the thing that stuns everyone, every investor that calls. So what I do is I try a different approach, and I try to create positioning to I'm the one that's telling them that. Where they go, do you want to buy this? And I go, only if you want to sell it to me. Um, I'll buy this only if the number makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
now I switched to position and I got them selling me versus me selling them on going with me.
Okay, so I mean, funny thing, this has nothing to do with this conversation. I
Okay.
was watching. I was watching. Those little fast dogs. Are they like not greyhounds? Are
Greyhounds.
they greyhounds?
Greyhounds. The ones
Yeah,
that
and
are dog tracks.
yeah, the one that's on the dog tracks, and
Yeah.
they chase those rabbits and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I don't know, that just popped in my head, right? So you pretty much, instead of you being the greyhound and chasing the I guess fictitious rabbit or whatever it is chasing, right?
Hmm.
You would prefer to be in the position of the rabbit and have that seller or prospect be the greyhound. Is that pretty
Hmm.
much what you're saying?
I'm getting them to chase me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the prize.
Okay. Okay.
Because in the call, believe it or not, it should be even playing fields because yes, you're trying to get their house, but they're also trying to get your money. They're not giving the house to you for free, though they say that stupid line. I'm not giving my house away. But they're not. They're saying that they're not giving their house away to you for free. So it should be an even playing field. But on the most salespeople or most investors or however you want to name it here, they come from a position is yeah, it is their house, so they do have ultimate control. Yes, they do have ultimate control, but you have ultimate control of the money too.
And this is like full transparency moment. This is something that I have struggled with in the past, right?
Hmm.
Where I was like, I always gave I guess the homeowner always had the power in my eyes, right? Because they had the product. And I never looked at it I'd never looked at it in a way like, well, hey, we have the funds, or we're the person that's coming to uh, create the solution to the problem, or whatever the case may be, right? So when you say even playing field too, um, how would you recommend, like, I guess, a new person out there to think of themselves on an even playing field as a seller who's selling a house? I think you muted.
I thought I unmuted. How can they think of themselves as a person that can you repeat that question one more time?
Like, what ways would you recommend, like, a newbie to look at themselves or get themselves on an even playing field with a seller or prospect?
I would say understand what this is. I personally believe, and I could look at it in a sick way. I don't think it's a sick way. I just think it's reality. But people sometimes want to defy reality or defy nature. Sales is just a game. When I'm on with with a seller, it's just a game. So understanding that it's a game, I treat it something like chess. The person that's in the no position is the person that's going to win the game.
Mhm.
I would tell a newbie to look at it that way. Look at it as a game. Look at it like chess. Now, I'm not saying get on the phone call and play games with the seller. What I am saying, get on the phone and play games with the seller at the same time. You play games with certain moves that if you use them, just like a counterpunch. If you move your head closer to the opponent may swing at you, and then if you're a counterpuncher, move your head back and counter them. So it's like that hesitation move, or that if you're a basketball player, if you're Kyrie Irving, the crossover move, he goes one way, gets you to go one way, then he goes back the other way. So that's what I mean by playing with the seller.
Mhm.
Not necessarily get on the phone and make jokes with the seller to get the seller upset. I'm not meaning it in that way. What I am meaning is just having a strong position when you're on the call. Hey, you want my money the same way as I want your house. It's going to be a million ways. It's going to be a million things that's going to tell us today why we're not compatible to even talk to each other. Do you mind taking a few minutes to talk to me about the couple of ways that will? And it's just holding that. It's just going on a call and telling them what you're there for, and not making them believe you're there for any another reason. Because I see that a lot of times people get on a phone call and they have conversations with a seller, knowing that they're wholesalers, knowing that they need it at a discount, and they go through this whole process just to realize the person wants retail,
Mhm.
and they just wasted their time when they could have got on the phone, told the seller, "Hey, I'm looking to buy cash at a discount."
And I think too, I mean, just if I could piggyback on that, um, what's the word I'm looking for? I you got to have the courage, and I know people throw. I know it could be easier said than done, having courage and stuff like that. You just gotta. I think you just have to have the courage, right, to be yourself. Like
Mhm.
really just be yourself on these calls. Because I think that is where you find the true confidence to really have a conversation with somebody. Because at the end of the day, when you look at it, it's no difference um, than going to a restaurant and having a conversation with what the waiter, waitress, or whoever. Right?
Mhm.
They have something that they have food. You have the money to buy the food, right? You either going to spend it or not. Or if they don't have, what you like, you either going to eat there or not. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I think it's just a conversation. So I think having the courage to really be yourself, knowing what you want, and knowing the purpose. Like if you go to a restaurant, you know the purpose of going to that restaurant is to eat. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and knowing your purpose on the call, I think that will really change the way a lot of people think or approach these calls. So what you got? What do you have going on here, man? You know, definitely with all this fancy stuff.
I'm sending out some SMS. So the way launch works is they only let you at the most you can send out. See, we reached our limit for today.
Mhm.
So the plan we got, we can only send out 600 messages a day, but the most they'll let you send out at a time is 150. So what I have
Okay.
to do is send out 150, go back, create another batch, send out another 150. So what I did, I sent out. I didn't quite send out 600 because we have some drip campaigns going and stuff like that. So it's not quite 600. We maybe sent out maybe about 400 today. So now what we're doing is just waiting on some responses to come back in. If we don't get any real responses today, sometimes you get them. Most of the times we do in a day, but you have those 1 or 2 days where you don't, or where they trickle in later on.
Mhm.
Um,
Is this a message right here?
yeah, it says, "Hey, Brand, I have no idea who Helen is. Helen is who we're looking for." So I click wrong number on here. Uh, Takes the number out. See, it clicked the wrong number, and it, you know, got the question mark. So we only had 2 messages come in so far. This time of day, people are at work, things like that, so they may respond later. Um, but sometimes we get a lot of response in. So it's just something we can't control where the response come in, but we sent out maybe about 350, 400, and we're seeing what comes in.
Um, when you so what do you prefer? As I know you said earlier in the show, like you're not much of a marketer, right? What do you prefer? Do you prefer the cold calls or you prefer text messages?
Over the two, mm, I think text message you get right to it and you get a person
Okay.
uh, that kind of raises their hand, says I'm kind of interested, and then you can get on the phone and have a conversation. So I would prefer SMS over cold calling or a dialer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's to each his own. If you're a person that likes the dialer, may be cheaper though.
Hmm.
Uh, so dialer's cheaper, but the text message you can get to a conversation faster.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, for me, I guess my attention span is like super. I probably would end up start doing 20 other things. So actually sitting on the dollar and just like plowing through it and actually doing something, I think for me is funner. Just having conversations with people,
Yeah.
people hanging up, people, the whole thing that comes with a dollar. I
Mhm.
definitely think I'm more of a get on the phone and just cold call you type of individual.
hmm So, like I said, it's to each his own. The thing about cold calling, it requires your time to sit there. So you have
Hmm.
enough time, but if you're a person that has a 9 to 5, may not have that much time, and
Hmm.
it's crucial that they make the best time of the best part of their time on it. So cold calling may not be the best scenario for them. SMS may be because you only have hour or two in a day because you work a 9 to 5. You're working, so when you get off your 9 to 5, you're beat because the job wear you out because it takes all this mental thing to do exactly what your boss wants you to do and what a customer wants you to do. So mentally you're drained. So
Mhm.
the last thing you want to do is sit on a dial and wait for someone to come in and they tell you wrong number, they tell you not interested, and you talk to a million of those before you get one person that says, yeah, I'll sell. So
Exactly.
you spent your hour, that 2 hours that you got to dedicate towards this, you would have spent it up by making calls and you only got one person. Versus if you sent SMS, cost a little bit more, but you get, I mean, that's the price of, either you pay with your time or you pay with money. So to cut your time down, you pay a little bit more money, but you get to a conversation faster.
So that's pretty dope. So like someone who's working a full mm, a regular 9 to 5, right? Who can't consistently be on a dollar, who don't have money for cold call team, who can't even manage a cold call team, right? Um, if the job permits for them to send text messages throughout the day, right,
Mhm.
where you're already on the computer, that definitely is something that like, hey, send these text messages, set up appointments to call them after you get off of work. So now you just consistently just setting appointments for yourself to talk to people
Mhm.
when you get off of work.
Yep.
So it's multiple ways to like really look at it, or as my one of my coaches was say, multiple ways to skin the cat.
Yep.
So if you like how you said earlier too, if you have the time and would like to sit on a dollar, shoot, sit on a dollar. But if you are that 9 to 5er and your time is very limited and you need to be what's the word, super intentional and super precise with your time, then text messages, sending text messages may be the one. I know there's different text message platforms.
Mhm.
What launch control,
You got launch control,
batch,
batch, REI reply, lead
yeah.
chirp, I think. Smarter contacts. It's a bunch of them. Roar. It's a bunch of them out there. Bunch of
So definitely doing the due diligence too, figuring out which ones, I guess, fit your business style and your business model, or what you can
well,
afford and can't.
basically, it's the one that gets the message out. It's the best one.
Yeah,
You know,
that too.
if your message getting blocked, then you're wasting money. So figure out which one's the best one to get your message out. See, we got another message came in. It says no, not interested in talking. So I would put them on a drip campaign. Right now, they're not interested. Could be later. Let's see what the phone number is. All right, drip campaign.
So my basic understanding of a drip campaign, right? So this person says no.
Mhm.
So every lead, or well, not lead, I'm sorry. Every when you buy data and you pay for that data to get it skip traced, your whole objective is to maximize every record in that data package that you bought, right? So just because someone said no today, or I'm not interested in selling today, you put it on a drip campaign, because I mean 5 years from now that
Mhm.
thing may change, or something may happen, or whatever the case may be, right?
So honestly, I don't know. That's a great point. I don't know what the seller means by no.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna assume that means they're never ever gonna sell. So put them on a DNC, do not call. If they don't tell me to put them on do not call, if they don't tell me don't ever call them again, I'll reach out to them, because no could just mean, hey, today is not a good day. I'm dealing with some stuff. It's just not a good day. Don't mean tomorrow is not a good day. Don't mean next month, next week is not a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what they mean. So I won't assume. So what I'll do is I'll just hit them back, hit them in another week or two, and you'll find out that some people they just meant no today. 2 weeks from now they meant hey, I've been playing around with it in my head. I do want to sell, or I want to entertain selling.
Because there's so many factors too, right? Somebody probably could be having a bad day and they're just like, nah. They probably had like 10,000 G's messages and they don't think, something serious. So they like, nah, right? So it's another message that came in.
Yeah, we got this guy said, no, I'm demolition to build 2 rental properties. So he's going to build 2 rental properties. So I'm going to take it. Not going to waste my time with him because he's telling me he's not interested. So, I messed that one up. I didn't mean to put him. It's not interested. I meant to put him on a drip. Let's see. Can I redo it? I'll go back in here later and redo him. I'll find him and redo him. Well, I meant to put him on a drip. Well, no, he's knocking the property down. So yeah, I was correct. So we got that message come in, and sometimes it's going to be a bunch of these. But would you rather sit on the phone call and have a bunch of those conversations that where the person tells you they demolished it, no, they're not looking to sell, or whether you just rather SMS? If you're on a 15-minute break, you got your laptop with you, send some SMS out. Like right now, how long did it take for me to send those 300-400 out? Total of 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, about 10, 15 minutes or so.
Yep. So if you're at your 9 to 5, you got your laptop, you go in the break room, send 300-400 messages out. Go back to work. Your messages is getting sent out. They're gonna respond with, things like that. A Belina.
Yeah, this is Belinda. Okay, there's a
Skip trace, I think is what you
yeah.
mean. I heard you say skip trace. Can you explain what you mean? Great question. Skip trace. Skip trace is when you're trying to find different information on a person. So you have a person's name, you maybe have a person's address, or maybe vice versa. You maybe have one or the other. So what you do is you take it to certain skip trace providers. You got True People Search, you got Been Verified, you got Fast People Search. I even think Ancestor.com may have some part of skip tracing. Or you can go to the paid people like Batch and all that. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the different skip tracing companies, Belinda. And I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Can you please correct me if I'm not? And you take it to them, and what they do is they find information out on that person. Sometimes it can be a phone number. Sometimes it can tell you if they're dead or alive. Sometimes it can give you relative information. It could give you other addresses that the persons have lived at. It's different kind of information they have out there. So that's what skip tracing is. It's just finding extra information on a particular person or a particular address or something like that. Hope that answers your question. If you have another question, or if you want me to explain a little more, I will.
And I guess more so on the power of skip tracing, right? Because you're not only able to find that person. I think you mentioned that you're not only able to find that person, but you're also able to find their relatives, right?
Relatives, yes, relatives. Whether it's their mother, father, if they're alive, their brother, sister. Not just relatives, also neighbors. It'll tell you, who their neighbors are. It may tell you who they're associated with. Maybe it's something where you live with someone at one point. Like if I lived with Carlos at one point, it may give Carlos information just because I live with him. It's finding that I'm connected with him.
And the power behind that too. So like you know how many times we do a lot of work through county records, right? Finding properties that nobody else probably can't find off of a regular, putting it through a skip tracing company, right? And sometimes you get records that come back and they don't have a number, right? So really doing the deep dive, figuring out like, all right, if this person don't have a number, this is another text message.
Yeah.
If this person don't have the number, all right, let me not stop there. Let me then go find out any other relatives or a neighbor or whatever the case may be. Let me get someone on the phone so I can find that person, right? To at least know if that person wants to sell or they don't want to sell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's why I like SMS better. It just gets you there faster.
Mhm.
To that conversation to find out whether they want to sell or not. SMS, the person to tell you if they want to sell or not. SMS, and then you have the people that's trying to see the best number they can get. They may not say yes, they may not say no. They sit on the fence and they try to see what they can get. Those are the people that I call that steal things from people. I like to call them that because that's what they're doing. They're trying to steal information from you, trying to steal your number to say, hey, this person gave me a offer this number. Can you do better? They're trying to get the most they can for a property. So I like to call those people stealers, um, or robbers or something like that. But nevertheless, you're able to get on the phone with them and find out if they're, robbers or they're actual sellers.
And like that seller right there, you had a seller that said, "Hey, now I'm demoing the property. I'm about to demo the property, put two rental properties on it, right?" So when I said when you asked me earlier what my objective was on the call, this is a great example of me like figuring out like the who's who or figuring out is this person serious or not. So that person just by texting, and I'm starting to see the whole benefits of texting versus just being on the dialer, right? You text this person pretty much already told you, all right, this is my plans for it, right? It's a clear definition of, hey, this is what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you're on the phone, if you're not careful, especially like even I see even myself, I swear I go through this process where I have that issue sometimes where I don't get the full um like purpose or full plan that they're planning on doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um especially early on, I know you get the sellers that be like, just call me whenever or whatever, like what are you gonna offer me or whatever the case may be. But my offer don't matter if you're not really thinking about selling or you're not thinking about selling like today or the next 30 days or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So really pulling out from the prospect seller or whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
um, what their plans are like and what that decision making process looks like for them and stuff like that. So you were able to do that in 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah, I'm getting the messages out. All the people that's on my list that are not interested, they let me know. I didn't have to sit on a dollar and find it out. I didn't have to
Mhm.
call them up, sit there. Probably the time, how many? Probably 5 or 6 people. They told me, in other words, that they're not interested. I probably would have had to sit on a dollar, maybe close to an hour, just to find it out. Now,
Exactly.
I don't want people to get tunnel vision on the SMS. That's just one way of doing it if you don't have a lot of time. The best way to do it is to work both of them at the same time, work the dialer and work calls, because it's going to be things that it's going to be landlines involved in this that you're not sending SMS out to, and it could be an older person that's still using a landline. I know people ask who's still using landlines. Older people still use landlines. My grandmother still use landlines. Um, and most of these houses that you're getting, they're older houses. They're, older, haven't been maintained well, or maybe they've been maintained well, they're just outdated. So it's
Hmm.
older houses that you're getting, so it's going to be more older people that still uses landlines. And what's that when they got rid of landline, what's that phone they call it, Magic Jack or something like that?
Magic Jack. Yeah,
Yeah, they
Magic Jack.
still use Magic Jack. So SMS won't get sent out to those. So those are people you're missing. So if you could get on the phone, get on the phone. To do both, send SMS and get on the phone. But if you don't have a lot of time, you're working a 9 to 5, I would say send SMS out. Gets it faster. Now you got to have the money for it. If you don't have the money for it, the dollar may be the best. I think the dollar is just flat fee. I think Batch is like $120 a month. I think Call Tools is like $100 a month. Mojo is like $140 a month, something like that. But it's a flat fee. You can go over that amount with SMS. Just the plan that we have, I think you've seen it. The plan that we have with Smarter Contacts was $500 a month. Not Smarter Contacts, Launch Control. It's $500 a month. I think Smarter Contacts is like $300 a month for their lowest plan. Or maybe $200 a month. I'm not sure. Batch has a whole bunch of other stuff that come with it just to get the SMS. So just before you send the SMS out, you're spending a whole bunch of money, and then you got to spend extra money on top of it once you spend the SMS. So that can get more expensive than dialing, but because it's more expensive, it's like I said, you're paying with time and you're paying with money. So if you do have the money, you do have a couple $100 a month you can spend. Spend a couple $100 a month, get your SMS out. Because when you get a deal, what's the deal is going to be? I think the national average is 12 grand. So you spend $500, you spend $1,000 for 12 grand. You spend $1,000. What's up, Mo?
Mo, what's going on, man?
Yeah, you spend a couple $1,000, and I mean, you like $1,000, then you make 10 grand. You make 12 grand. Is that a nice return on your investment?
Exactly. So, so if you were building if you had to start over, right?
Good question.
And building your business and stuff like that, like what would you do?
It's funny. I started over quite a few times in this industry. This is kind of why I think we're here, telling people about it, because we had to start over a couple times until we got it. We listened to a bunch of people, and what we find out is the gurus or the so-called people that we were listening to, all they were was affiliate pushers. And the reason they was telling us to go that route because they got a kickback off some of their plans that they was doing. So not saying that they were lying to us about using these things to get deals. You can use these things to get deals. But it was more they're pushing the product so they can get a kickback too. That was always behind the scenes that we didn't see. I'm not saying that they were bad people by saying that. I mean, by doing that. But it is what it is. What it is. So these systems and all these different things that they was telling me do work. They're not lying. It does work, but you have to actually go into go into when you're starting this business, go into what you're trying to do, not what you're trying to do, but what you're intentionally, why are you quitting your job? Like, what's that why you quitting your job? And go into this understanding, this is why I'm doing this. What people get sidetracked is they see the number. They see you can make 10 grand, 12 grand. They see you can make 20 grand. You can make 100 grand. And they look at that and they start chasing that. They chasing the idea of that and not chase the idea of what they really want. So like for me, let's just say, hey, I'm just looking to, my why I quit my job is, I just don't want to work. My back hurt, this and that. I'm being wore out. I'm tired of dealing with my boss, all that. So I just need income to replace my 9 to 5. So I would go in and say, what do I need to replace my 9 to 5? How much money do I need? I make, $3 grand a month. So I need to go into this and try to find deals that can give me $3 grand a month. Maybe I can do one deal. If the national average is 12 grand, that means I need one deal a month that'll pay for 3-4 months. 3-4 months of my income and my job. And I'm not saying stop at 12 grand. That's what you're looking for. But what most people get sidetracked is on the money. And they're trying to find the best way, the fastest way to get to the money. But really it comes down to all these systems. It all still comes down to you. It comes down to you putting your head down and grinding. These systems help you. They don't get you a deal. That's what most people miss. So people see, oh, SMS, I can get to a conversation faster. That means I can close a deal faster. No, that's not what that means. It just means you can get to a conversation faster. That's all it is. A seller saying yes or no to you is not up to you. So it could take 100 people you got to talk to get one person to say yeah. But all you can do is control your actions and control your behavior, and that's getting on the call saying, "Hey, I need $3,000 a month, so I need to keep marketing, keep marketing, keep marketing. I need before I start, I need to see how much money I have and how much money can I market, and how long am I prepared to wait a year and not get a deal? Keep marketing, keep spending this money, and a year not get a deal." And you have to look at it that way. So to get back to your question, if I had to start over, the first thing I would do is I would save my money. I wouldn't spend any money, and I've done this, and that's what I'm doing now in my business, and it's way more profitable. Is don't spend any money. Don't spend any money on skip tracing. Don't spend any money on pulling lists. Don't spend any money on sending SMS out through these platforms. I would go down to my county, whether it's physical, whether it's I don't know if your county's online. Some are physical, some you can go online. And I would go on my screen keeps dimming. But I would go online or I would go down to the county, I will pull certain records. You got pre-foreclosure. Just pull a house in general. You can get into the weeds of pre-foreclosure liens and all that, but just pull a house in general. A house that's an aged house, or you can drive for dollars. Either one works. I would say the county more than driving for dollars, but driving for dollars is good too. But I would just pull an aged house, somebody that owns the house 15 years, something like that, and I would get on the phone with them and see if they want to sell. So I would send an SMS through my actual cell phone. I would get like Google Voice or some kind of text now or something like that, other than your primary number. I would get a number like that, and I would just send text and make calls to those people. That's what I would do, and I would just sit on the phone every day. Whether I got 2 hours, while I got an hour, I would do that every day. Put on some TV while you do it. Put on some music while you're doing it. When somebody, answers you or respond to you, pause it and then get on the phone. Don't make this hard. Make it simple. All it is consistent.
Not to cut you off, I'm a big proponent of Candy Crush. While making my mom got me playing Candy Crush.
Candy Crush. My thing is, I don't know why I'm fascinated, and it's like it's satisfying watching it. My thing is to watch people get their back cracked. The chiropractors crack people's back. I don't know, it's weird, but it's satisfying because I visualize myself get my back cracked like them. So it's like satisfying watching. So you ever like crack your knuckles or crack your neck because it's stiff, and when it cracks, is that satisfying?
I'm cracking my knuckles right now. This is like an addiction. Like I was cracking my knuckles all day.
So watching people get that back crack, I go, "Oh, that's so satisfying." Oh, so I sit there and I watch random people get that back crack all day long.
Weird thing that I do is what's the pimple popper lady? When they have all those like the pimples or the abscess or those like big like
I haven't seen that
boils and stuff on their face, and they like got to squeeze it out.
I haven't seen that.
That thing is like, I don't know, like it's weird and it's like hilarious. Every time I watch it, like it's like I'm like dying laughing, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I ought to do that. Or sometimes I put on I coach football, I play football. I like to like watch old games and stuff like that, and I have that on the background.
Yep. So we're getting some sold in. So yeah, we finding out all this stuff fast.
I think if one of the things, if I had to do, one of the very most important things I would do if I had to start over is really learn sales at a like in the beginning, and learn how to have conversations in the beginning. For the simple fact of like not necessarily for the tricks and the moves and stuff, but how people like all the different stuff. It's really just to when you get to the nitty-gritty of sales, it's understanding that, hey, you're on an even playing field with this person, and it's just a regular conversation as you would have with, I'm having with you right now, or you have with your whoever else right now, right? I think we take things and then we try to like make it more complicated than what it is when it doesn't really have to be. You know, that's one of the things I would definitely do first if I was starting over. Um, I also recommend people to like really know what you want, like not build your business based on what you see everybody else have. Like really sit down. If you don't want to have a team of, I don't know, 10,000, like, well, I know that's crazy number. If you want to have a team of like 20 salespeople, right, on your team, or 20 cold callers, if that's not what you want or
Don't do it.
you desire, don't do it, right? Because there's other people uh, who have smaller teams and stuff like that and are producing, if not more, but just the same as people who has those like 20 cold calling team, right?
Yep. All
Really
day long.
sit down and plan and map out like, yo, this is what I want my business to look like. Like, all right, am I a person that want to talk to 20 like different VAs and stuff like that right now? Yay or nay. If you don't, then figure out how you can do the same with 20, I mean with 5 as you would do with 20, right? And I think that's the biggest key for me because I've started over.
That's a nugget.
Yeah,
That's a nugget there.
I started over like several times, and like, still like full transparency, because I was building it like how I thought I had to have this like super huge team and all that other stuff, right? And I just kept building it like I wanted to be like this person, that person, or whatever the case may be, or I would see this tool, that tool. And you said something earlier. There's no escaping the hard work.
Ooh.
Like there is no escaping the hard work. Yeah, the tools make it easier for you, in a sense, right? Just like
It's an aid. That's all
yeah,
it is. It's aid you.
it like there's no escaping the hard work. You still have to put in the work to consistently dial, to consistently like have the conversations. And I was talking to you, and I was watching good old Nick Saban talk one time, right? About discipline and like yeah, the whole aspect of discipline, right? And
Can you
I think
hold that thought? Nick Saban. So we got a response here. She said, "Nope, I got a listed with a realtor." So I asked, "Could I reach back out to her if it doesn't work out with a realtor?" She said, "In May, okay." So yeah, so I set her on a drip campaign. Reach back out to her. Simple as that. I got a person that maybe down the line, maybe it doesn't work out with a realtor. Right now is a down market. It's the odds could be great that it doesn't work out. I don't know. People are still unrealistic right now in this market. So it could work out. So I just wanted to show that. But save it.
yes, he has well accomplished coach, man. He was talking about discipline, right? Discipline is, he said something to the nature of discipline is deciding not to do the thing that you know is not good for you, so you can do the thing that is good for you that you probably don't want to do right now. And I was like, dang, because if you think about it, like sometimes you may not. There's days, and there's days I don't want to get on the phone and make a call. There's days I don't want to sit in front of a computer. There's days I just want to go and watch Swamp People or Martin on on TV, right? But do I have the discipline to say no to Martin and come make these calls, right? And I think that's the equalizer. That's the factor at the end of the day. That
So
discipline, man.
that's a great point. Um, the problem is people don't critically think that all the way through. They think they have to create this and make it a job. They think they have to create real estate and make it a job. When real estate could just be a hobby. If you like Martin, do this while you're doing Martin. Just put Martin on pause when you get a person that picks up.
Right. And that's one of the things. I got to get a TV in my office, but I got monitors. So I'm like, I can put a TV here because I know people. I was watching an interview of this other investor dude. He was like, man, he plays Madden all day. He's playing Madden all day online, making calls.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he figured out how to do something he loves, right, while doing his real estate business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's like a whole nother level of thinking, right?
Yeah.
Cold calling, yeah, I do it, and yeah, I mean, I would probably do it before texting and all that stuff. But I'm like, how do I make this fun? I got a tablet. I'm sitting here doing Candy Crush. I think I'd be like that one day. I think I beat like 10 levels on Candy Crush, just like cold calling and just playing Candy Crush. And I looked up and boom, it was 4 hours ago. You know,
Yep.
So especially if you're just sitting here looking at the dollar and waiting for the call to come, and then you're looking at the time and all that other stuff, like it can wear you out. It's boring, man. Figure out how to have fun with it.
Yeah, that's the key to why you're doing this. The odds are you're gonna get shit tons of no before you get one yes, and it can be hundreds sometimes of no's, and it can be tiring. It can burn you out. If you don't find out how to make this fun, you're gonna get burnt out. It's gonna happen. So you have to, before you even get started, before you even make the first phone call, I would tell you that's the first thing I would tell you. Critically think and think about what can I do that will make this fun. Sometimes is what me and Carlos do. Sometimes we'll get on a call and we'll call together.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to do the work every day. Has nothing to do with how many calls you get in a day. People's going to tell you it's a numbers game. Yes, it's a number, but you don't know what that right number is, and they can't tell you what that right number is. It can be the first phone call, and the person says yes, but it can be the 1,000th phone call, and the person finally says yes. You just don't know. So all you can do is control yourself. You can't control the outcome of this, but you can control your behavior. You control the things you do every day. I think to your point that you were making on Saban. Just even I'm an Alabama football fan. Grew up Birmingham, so definitely a big fan. But the work that you do in practice is going to pay off on the field for Alabama. But sometimes you have those days where it don't. Like this year's Alabama didn't make it like they normally make it. So you're going to have those. So you're going to have. But in this field, you're going to have. It's more like baseball where you can suck 70% of the time, and all you got to do is make the ball hit the bat one time and get a home run, and you can still get paid a lot. This is more like baseball. You're going to strike out, you're going to miss a whole bunch of times, but all you need to do is have that ball hit the bat one time, one good time, and it can create all kind of money for you. Same way as these Derek Jeter get paid. He bats 2-something 300. He sucks. But he gets paid millions just for making the ball hit the bat 1 or 2 times.
What's the I guess batting average? I know it's like super low.
Yeah, it's like 300s, 2s, 300s.
Yeah, and you could be in a Hall of Fame, like
Hall of Fame. Yep.
That's insane. But and to the baseball analogy too, right? Not every ball that you hit is going to be a home run, right? But you bunt the ball, right? You get on base. Like how many times can you get yourself on base too, right? meaning like with these calls. That's what I kind of look at, these drip campaigns and stuff, and follow-ups and all that other stuff. If you own base, it's still a possibility, right? And now is just figuring out how to get people to come to home. Somebody gonna get caught, and they're out, and then somebody gonna run in and go home or whatever the case may be. So I think not only is it just hitting the home runs, but like getting the bases loaded, so now you can bring certain people in, because everybody might not come in. But when you get the base loaded and then you hit a home run and everybody come in, hey man, that could be one amazing feeling too.
Yeah, those was it what they call a grand slam? The grand slams happen too, but it's based off your consistency, and that's willing every game to walk up to the plate and swing and be okay swinging and missing.
Mm-hmm.
And one day that ball will hit the bat, and it just has to hit it right, and you got a grand slam, you got a home run, you got to win to keep you going to the next deal. So yes, you're gonna miss more than you're gonna hit. Just be okay, getting that a bunch of no's before you can get one yes.
And I think too, man, people look at least me. I used to do that. So a lot of the things that I'm speaking on is like personal experience that I faced, right?
We're both, yeah.
Is the simple fact of like, if I feel as if I did terrible on the call, I'll look at it as, oh man, I failed. Or if I messed up on this, if I lost money on this marketing channel, or I messed up with these VAs or whatever the case may be, I looked at it as I failed, right? And I started to have a negative relationship with failure in the very beginning. But now I'm starting to see like, yo, and I know everybody says this, like when you really sit down and identify failure, it's like, yo, you should only have you should have that positive relationship with it, because it's something that you definitely learning from it, right? I knew for me, probably a team of 30, 40, 50 VAs probably won't work for me. Because one, I'm very close knit. I'm a like family oriented person. Like I like to know everybody and have that conversation with people. So I learned that. So it's so many different things that I learned from failure that I'm starting to realize now. Like, yo, I didn't fail. I just learned something new. Anything specific that you would say that you learned from the failure that you experienced?
A bunch of shit. I learned to trust myself. You're the answers to the problem. I think Nas may say it, but it may be somebody else that says it too. You're the question and the answer. You're the solution to what's going on in your situation. So if you're not making enough money, you're the solution to it. It's not anybody else. If you're unsatisfied in a relationship, you're the answer to it. It's your job to fix the situation, rectify the situation. Yes, can you blame other people? Yeah, you can do it. It's fine. Blame other people, but understand that as long as you sit there and blame it, you're going to sit there in that position. So it's up to you to get up. Nobody else is going to care about you more than you care about yourself. Nature is not set up that way. Nature is set up for us to be selfish, to care about ourselves more than we care about someone else. It's hardcore to say, but that's reality. You see it every day. You're worried about your kids before you worry about somebody else's kids. You take care of your kids and you'll be okay sleeping in your bed while somebody can show you plain as day on TV that another kid needs a home. And you'll turn and flip on that channel and watch, Kevin Hart. So as harsh as that sound, that's the reality of life. So nobody's gonna fix your problem but you. So I had to realize that when I wasn't making money in this, it was because of me. It wasn't because the guru told me something wrong. I chose to listen to him. I chose to not do the research and figure out what exactly they're talking about. I chose not to test certain things. I chose to go off their word. So, but when I realized to just listen to myself, and a lot of things I knew were right, but I would still disregard what I knew and listen to a guru, because a guru's only giving you, like, we are only giving you our experience. Um, it's not for you to take it and do exactly what we do. It's for you to take it, analyze it, think about it, and say, does this fit for me? If it fits for you, then use it. If it doesn't, disregard it. Maybe keep it in the background. Maybe test it. Whatever you got to do to make it yours. But I would say you're the answer to it. So that's one of the lessons that I learned, is just to trust myself more. When I started trusting myself, that's when the deals started coming. That's when things started making sense. I had the answer all along. I just wouldn't trust myself and just pull the trigger and just do it. So that was my one of my lessons. But throughout the journey, I learned a whole bunch of lessons. I learned things about how to get liens off properties. I learned things of how to. I wasn't. I had more of a, like, a visionary mind state. I had the shiny object, mind state. So I would jump on things real fast. I would see something I like, and I would jump on it. And I'll move on to the next thing. And throughout the journey, I realized all I was doing was wasting time, burning a bunch of money, doing both of them. It sucks when you're doing both of them. It's not going to work out when you're doing both of them, when you're wasting time and spending money. That's the worst position to be in. It's okay wasting time as long as you ain't wasting money. It's okay wasting money as long as you ain't wasting time. But you can't do both. And I was doing both. And I learned to channel that more. So when I see something, I go, don't be old Jamar. Don't be a shiny object syndrome. Let's analyze this, make sure it's the best move first. So I'm not quick to say yes anymore. I'm quick to kind of, all right, pause. Let me see. Let me analyze it, see how best I can use this, see if it's going to work for what I'm doing. Is it going to maximize my abilities if I use it? If it's not, then let me cut it. If it is, let me see if I have another. Like right now, we're sending SMS through somebody else's system, so I don't want to spend SMS money because I already done that, and I seen not I won't say better ways, but different ways where I don't have to spend the money. I can still make the money that I want to make. So I don't send SMS, but I like talking to people. I think we both like talking to sellers. The way we do it, we market, Carlos. We don't talk to a lot of people, and it kind of irks us because we like talking to people. So what I did is just leverage somebody else. Somebody else said, "Yeah, I got the money. Can you, handle this for me?" And I go, "Yeah." It gives me the ability to talk to someone. So even trade.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean. Utilizing what you got to maximize profit.
Sure. I think too, like relationships too is super important. Having like solid relationships with people.
Yep.
Like how you just said, you leverage someone. You like talking about to people. You didn't want to pay for SMS. You leverage someone else, and now it has afforded you the opportunity to like talk to more people, right? While now you're not heavy cash up front, but now you're just doing what you enjoy doing, getting on the phone, talking to sellers and stuff like that. And it's like I look at it like this: it's better to split a pizza than to not have none at all.
Well, especially if you ain't paying for the pizza.
Exactly. So,
We're not paying for this SMS that we're sending out. Somebody else is spending the money, but we're gonna get 30-40%.
and then like really having this conversation, really, when you boil down, like everybody has a skill, and figuring out how your skill.
I got a question on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, figuring out how your skill can like couple with somebody else's skill to like give you whatever desire that you want is. I mean, I look at it like a relationship too. Like a woman has skills, a guy has skills. We both come together and then create something, or whatever the case may be. Your friend has certain skills, you have certain skills, y'all come together and y'all homeboys, right? So it's just really finding how finding your skills and then understanding what someone else's skills is, and then figure out how y'all two can work together if it's meant to be. So,
Mhm. And question on skills. Um, when did you realize that you? Because I think you're great at talking to sellers. When did you realize you had the skill to be able to have these conversations and close these deals with sellers? Because people don't
hmm.
believe they have that skill, but when did you realize it?
uh, fully, I fully like embraced the skill probably like a year ago, and I say that because I felt as if I could talk to people, um, but I didn't feel as if I was, I guess, good,
Mhm.
or I was telling myself I wasn't good, or whatever the case may be. But I realized, because my past job I was a therapist before, right? And I realized like it's a lot of the same thing I'm doing. I'm just having a conversation with somebody, right?
Mhm.
And I realized like, yo, it's no different than what I used to do in the past. And when I was in conversation with people, I had fun at work, right?
Mhm.
And when I'm talking to people now, it's like I'm having fun. You know what I'm saying? So I really embraced it about a year ago when I'm like, yo, I don't have to be this person, this different person to have conversation with people. Like I used to look at it like sales, and so I was one of those people that was like, yo, sales is cheesy. Like, you got to be you what you a thief, all that stuff. That's what my mindset was on sales, right?
Mhm.
But I realized if I'm trying to get this girl's number, I'm selling, right? If I'm interviewing for a job, I'm selling. You selling yourself or marketing yourself all day, every day. So that's why I was like, I just fully embraced it, and I just started having fun with it.
Mm. We got one here. It says, "Text me again. I'll report you." So a person like that, we'll just put on a DNC, do not call. We ain't gonna waste our time. With him, he ain't interested, or he may not be interested. So not gonna waste my time with him and go through possible litigations on that. If he's telling me don't text him, if he don't want to ever get called again, we won't do it. But we got one person that says, "What's your offer?" Um, so there's two things we can do. So a person that's on a job or something, maybe they because they don't get a lot of because we got a lot of not interested and stop calling me and wrong numbers. They get this one that shows some type of interest. So some people may want to jump on the phone, right when he says what's your offer, jump on the phone and have a conversation, figure out if it's a possible deal you can make. But some people may send another SMS, may gauge some interest. So what I'm gonna do now is just send another SMS and gauge some interest. What would you do in this situation, Carlos?
Um, that's a great question. I think, um, honestly, I probably would have just called him.
Mhm. So yeah, because I'm doing this for someone else, I'm gonna do it the way they want to do it. I probably agree with you there. I probably would just call them.
Because this
Um,
is the thing too with SMS. Like when you sending messages back and forth, right? I don't know how much you pay for it, right? I know it's very small, but if you have like a bunch of people that you going back and forth with on the message, like that can compound to a hefty price at the end of the billing cycle. But I
mm,
definitely think this really has me looking at SMS too, like because you can. I'm pretty sure you're gonna send a message to like as you said, gauge interest. I mean interest to see like, hey, are they serious or you know, are they just pump faking?
mhm. And that's why I'm sending another SMS to see if they pump faking or they just want to know what's your number because they're trying to get the highest. That's why I call it stealing. They're trying to get your number. They don't want to sell, but they looking for you to make them sell by giving them a ridiculous number. So if I give them a number, and they don't like the number, the conversation ends. But at the same time, I gave up something. I never got anything. Never found out if they want to sell. What your offer is not telling me if you want to sell. So I want to find out if you want to sell or not. If you don't want to sell, then that's fine. Just tell me. Don't waste my time. So I have to play this little game, and this is why I tell people sales is a game. I have to play this little game. They ask me what's your offer. I ask them if they want to sell. They ask me what's my offer. Do you want to sell or not? That's the question. Is that a yes or no? If you say yes, then say yes. How much are you offering? That's fine. I got my answer now. Now we can talk. But I'm not going to waste my time with what your offer. You didn't tell me anything, so I have to play this back and forth game right now to find out what's going on. So I have to send them a SMS saying, can we talk? Can we? Is it something you're looking to sell in the next such and such? Because the person never gave me an answer, and I guarantee the next response from him, if he sends a response from this person, is depending on what the price is, they'll sell, which is another game move that people play.
I don't know why when you just said "Can we talk," I just started to sing. What's that dude's name?
Oh, movie?
Nah, the "Can We Talk" song. Yeah. I hear you say
Campbell. Yeah, but that's what's gonna happen. You have people that play games, and you So me, I probably would get on the phone and just eliminate him fast with her fast with a phone call, and go, hey, do you want to sell this now, or do you just want to hear a number? And because she picked up the phone, she can tell me one or two, or she gonna sit on the phone and fight with me, or not sit on the phone and fight me because I'm not gonna sit there too long and fight with her. But I get to the answer fast versus waiting for this next text now. Because some people they'll ask what your offer and they'll leave you in limbo to the point you'll have to make the call to find out what's going on because they won't respond back because they were hoping you say a number, but that's nine times out of 10 that's a person that doesn't really want to sell. They're just hoping they can get a number that they know they can't get.
So in this game here, like just the flexibility, the adaptability, it's again what makes sense for you. Like, he's sending another text message. Other people would call or whatever the case may be. You design it on how you see fit with your business and what you think is best for you. So you got a response?
Yep. It's so the response I sent her, assuming that you were happy with what I could offer for the property. Her name could sell within the next couple months, even if the option is for you. Her name could selling within the next couple months because I understand the message now. Could selling within the next couple months even may be an option for you? And she just messaged back yes. So, all right, we got a person now. So we know in the next couple months she want to sell. She finally answered our question. So this is someone I would get on the phone with. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the conversation. I'm going to save it in my notes and I'm going to push it to my CRM. Oh, I got to verify this person. And now I can send it to the CRM. So it's been pushed to the CRM and she's ready for a phone call. So this is in Houston, Texas. So let me pull up some numbers in Houston. And see if we can. I like to look at numbers, not necessarily run numbers. I like to just glance at and see what, what's going for in the area. Not necessarily trying to pinpoint now her property. But just see, like, It could be a range of 300s, 400s, whatever. I just go off the range and I kind of see what she's asking for. If she's asking for 400s, I know it's more market value than anything. So I can't show my access to MLS, but I can just tell you what I'm seeing. So let's see. I'm not seeing any comps. That's interesting. But this is an apartment. This is in Houston too. Sorry, if I go a mile out, I got some comps. Got 44. So because this and they're no good because they cross major highways, so I can't even use that. All of them cross major highways. So that's not even good. So what I'm gonna do now is look at rental rates because I can't find any houses that sold. Rentals. Ooh, look at a bunch of rentals. Let's see how many are closed. All right, let's see. See what I got here now. So rental rates in her area is 2,300. 23, 24, 22, 23, 24. So between 22 and $2,400. So let's jump on the phone with her. Lynette, I think is her name. How do I pronounce it? All right, let's see what her phone number is.
I'm sitting here talking to myself this whole time. My mic was muted.
See Lynette pick up.
Your call has been forwarded.
And I like to double dial. Just to make sure. Some people pick up on a second call. Why they pick up on a second call, I don't know. Some people believe that people think it's emergency and they pick up. I'm not sure if that's the reason. Just a person that calls me twice seems like a human being than a regular person. To me, that's why I would pick up with a second call. But I just haven't asked. I never asked the seller that to even figure out why.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated.
So when this happens, do you send a text message back to her, or do you just follow up and call her later on?
I'll follow up and call her later on because I'm not ready to give her a number. She asked me for an offer. I'm not ready to give her a number. I'm ready for a conversation.
Okay.
So maybe I may text her back and ask her, when can we jump on the phone and talk? But I'm not going to do that and just push it. I'm not going to waste a SMS on that. I'm going to just push it over to my CRM and just keep following up with her every day. So if you're a newbie and you got the 9 to 5 and you was doing SMS, you got a potential lead right here. You got a potential prospect right there. And what did that take us? About an hour of SMS. But if you was on your 9 to 5, it took you 15 minutes to sending that SMS out. And then when you go on your next break, you can respond to that SMS. And you just got a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you do that every day. You get a lead every day. You get 2 or 3 leads every day. And then start building up to the law of physics is you have to close one just by reaching out, making that phone call. And you have to make the phone call. You can't eliminate the phone call. Now, I know some people that have closed deals by text, but I will ask yourself, do you trust that much? How can you trust that that's the right person that you're talking to without
This
wasting your
is
time?
this just had a light bulb come, right? You said the law of physics, right? I don't know much about physics, but there's something I want to learn more on. This is another example of like, hey, it has to happen if you consistently doing the work, right? This is how some people get burnt out or they lose a lot of money, right? They think of course, if you want it to get done faster, and it don't always guarantee. It's not a guarantee that if you send more, if you go buy this bigger plan or package or whatever the case may be, like, of course, I mean, it's a possibility you may be able to get more leads in faster, right? But if you're someone who, you got to know where you're at. If you can't afford a $5,000 SMS platform package or whatever the case may be, you just can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? Just if there's a $200-$300 one, you just consistently work with that, and then when the time comes and you close a couple of deals, then you can transfer over to the $5,000 package or whatever package they have, right? But really knowing where you are at and accepting where you're at, and then having the discipline just consistently text and consistently dial, because it's gonna happen. It's like that saying that we always say: you could be the worst 3-point shooter ever. You keep shooting, it's a strong possibility that eventually one of them are going to go in.
One of them gonna go in. Keep throwing the ball at the goal. One of them gonna go in. Throw it enough, one will go in.
You could have 10,000 air balls, but one of them are going to go in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's the law of physics. So if you continue to do this every day, maybe get a person that wants to sell or show some interest one time a day. Do it for 30 days. That's 30 people. Do it for 6 months. 6 times 30 was that 90? No.
No,
100, 180.
6 times 30.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hold on.
My math is off right now. So, but anyway, 6 times, not 6
Oh,
times
6 times
3
30.
is-
Yeah, I think you had it right.
My math is off. But anyway, that's a bunch of people. I'm pretty sure one of those people will say yes to you. As long as you call them, you have be willing to have a conversation. Sometimes even be willing to make an offer. Just because they say no the first time, that don't mean they mean no the second time. They just saying no for right now. Hey, right now I just want a high price. Right now at this moment, but 6 months down the line, I may not care that much about this high price. Because think about you when you're selling something. Just say, I don't know, you got an iPhone, you want to sell your iPhone. You go to Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, or wherever you want to sell it to. You always say the phone is worth $700. I don't know. Your first thought, the first time you put it up, you're gonna try to get 700, 750. You're gonna try to get the full value, maybe even more of the value the first time. Though you have to get rid of this phone because you have 2 phones, you don't need the other one, or you need to make some money off a phone. You need to get some bills. You're gonna always try to get the most the first time you do it. So it's just a matter of time of how long you're gonna sit there and play around with 700 and 750 before you realize nobody's reaching back out to you for 700 and 750. Then you realize nobody's reaching back out to you, and you go, damn, I'm not gonna be able to sell this thing for the 700, or I don't want to hold out for 6 more months or 3 more months. I might as well take what I can get. So then you start lowering it. You'll lower it to 650 now. Then you may lower it to 600. So that's how it's going to work with these people. The first time you contact them, they're going to want the highest number. That's fine. Ask certain questions to find out what's really going on in this situation. Why they need, that money. What's the importance of it? How is it affecting them and all that. And when they're ready to, be, I guess, more realistic about what's going on in their situation. And then when you hit them at that right time, that's when they'll say yes to you. So it is about time. It's about time. And so everybody tell you that they're closers and all this, them. I would say that's just more of an ego trip for them. They have no the seller saying yes to them is not their decision. And a lot of times these people getting deals just because of time. It's not their ability to close the seller. All a closer can do is discover better than someone else, discover what's going on better. That's the only difference between a good salesman and an amateur. It's just a salesman can discover faster.
Some good, powerful gems we dropping today, man. So I know we're about to reach that time, man.
Yeah, we are.
One of the things that just if we do jump on early we'll show early parts of our days is pretty much the marketing piece or marketing part of our day, and then later on in the afternoon or evening time when we do our prime time dials, right? We jumping on the phone with a lot of the people that either raise their hands and stuff like that, and just gauging the conversation, discovering and figure out like, hey, what they're trying to do. So today we wanted to show y'all another side of what we do, and drop some gems and tell y'all the real all real. The struggles, the wins, the losses, and all that other stuff, just to help that person that's out there that's feeling like, yo, I'm struggling, or I just failed, or whatever the case may be. Give them some motivation to push them to be like, hey, just keep on going. It's going to happen for you, but you just got to consistently keep on going and not give up. So hopefully this benefit everybody that's watching today. You got anything else that you want to bestow?
I would tell the people that's marketing, the people that's talking to these sellers. I'm an investor, so I look at it from the investor standpoint, not so much from the homeowners. I would just tell people just stand their ground when they're talking to homeowners. Don't let the homeowners take control. Stand your ground. At the state of what real estate is right now, it's turned to where the sellers don't really make the call. A year ago, 6 months ago, people were buying 20, 30, 40% over market value. The seller could get what they want. Now it's changed to it's more in the buyer, if the buyer wants to buy this property. So I would tell people stand their ground. The reason investing or talking to homeowners is so difficult for people. The industry is so hard for people because people's ability not to tell a seller no. It doesn't make sense. Enough people tell a person no. The same thing that I said about the iPhone thing. If the person realized that they're not getting traction, or the seller realized that they're not getting the price that they want, they're going to change. They're going to have a change of mind. So if enough people say no, you can't get the deal. You can't get it at a number where you can make sense. But most people aren't willing to say no. They're willing to chase the seller. And now the seller sense that you're chasing them, and the seller can get what they want. And what happens is you get put in a position where you can't either perform, or you perform and then realize you can't make money. Now you're out of business. So I would tell people who's doing this, stand their ground. Like I said at the beginning, it's an even trade. You have to be able to make money. I'm sorry, that's as simple as I can put it. You have to be able to make money. So stop getting into these deals where you can't make money. Stop getting into these deals where you're hoping you can make money. because what you do is you do enough of that you're gonna hit a bad deal. And when you hit that bad deal, it can, like I was talking to a guy the other day. I'm supposed to be working with him later on, but he's 50 grand in the hole on it with a lender because he made a bad deal, because he chased the seller. He let the seller put him in a messed up position. So he owes the lender 50 grand on the property. He don't even have the property. That's the even messed up part. So he borrowed money on the property he don't even have. And he lost it through foreclosure. And he didn't foreclose. The homeowner got foreclosed on, and he let the homeowner put him in a bad position. And that's what I'm saying. You know what you're there for. If you don't know what you're there for, you need to do more research before you jump on the phone calls and understand what you're there for. You're there to make money. You're not there to help the seller. I know you want to. Your ego tells you I should feel good about myself and not make a whole bunch of money off this people, try to help this people, try to save this person. But that's not what you're doing there, because when a person tells you, hey, I don't want to sell, I'm in foreclosure, I want to keep my house. And you can't talk to, if he's telling you he wants to keep your house, you can't talk to him about selling this house. That's not helping him. His desire is to keep the house. So you're there to make money. You're not there to help the seller. You're not there to, now I'm not saying be a jerk. If you can help. But 9 times out of 10, when you're there to make money. So look at it for that. What am I here for? I'm here to make money. When you go to your 9 to 5, you're not there to make friends. You're there to make money. If you make a friend, that's good. If a friend comes out of the job, that's good. But what you're there for is to make money, bring it home to your family. If you're not making money to bring it home to your family, then why are you there? You have to ask that question again. Why am I here? So when you're on these phone calls, ask that question. Why am I on the phone? I'm on the phone to make money. I'm on the phone to make a deal. Let me not get sidetracked about this sad story that I'm hearing. It sucks. I get it. Either hang up the phone and realize that ain't the person I want to make money off of because the situation is too bad, and go to a different person if it hurts you that bad. But please understand what you're there for and stand your ground with these homeowners. Just because I'm an investor, I'm on the side of the investor.
For sure, man. Great gems. And let's make this thing happen. Today was a good day, man. Definitely like, subscribe. If you got any questions,
do all those.
Do all that good old fancy stuff.
Do all that fancy stuff everybody tells you. Like, subscribe. Hey, hit the thumbs down. If you don't like it, that's fine. I take those too.
So signing out.
Peace out, everyone.
All right, Joe.